Hello, how are you doing today? This is
Hello.
Chris.
This is Angela.
Hello, Angela. How's it going for you today?
It's going well.
Very well, I thank you. Run away, run. This is Chris from the Spice.
Oh.
Sprinkle me, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Oh,
Spice
la 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 la.
Life.
Yeah. How has your day been today, Angela?
Had a pretty good day because nothing out the ordinary happened. It just was one of those normal days.
So it was a good day, but it was an ordinary day.
It's an ordinary day. Mm-hmm.
Just an ordinary day.
You appreciate ordinary days
ordinary
sometimes.
play. It doesn't matter what they say. It's
Because
just
there
an ordinary
was
day.
craziness last week.
Yeah, man. It was
But
interesting.
got
is
through
what the word I
it.
would
Get
use.
through those crazy days, those crazy weeks, those
Yeah.
crazy times.
Yeah. Some
Yeah,
of
they
it. Some
go
of it
away
is.
sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say some of it I remember. Some of it I say I make sure to block it out and forget.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like,
And
I
thank
don't
you
know
for
what you're talking
helping
about.
me out too with that. That was great. I appreciate it. Sometimes, you have to, going through some interesting things. It's good to have a partner there to help you.
Yeah.
And he really did. He
That was
helped
one
me
of the
out.
things I knew I had to step up for.
Yes.
Some things I'd be like, you'll have to count me out. You're gonna have to count me out. Sometimes.
He's never told me that unless he's had something else that was already scheduled that
Right.
cannot be
That she might have
changed. Because
forgot about.
sometimes he changes whatever's on his schedule to help me.
Adjustments.
Yeah.
But we definitely try to get together, make sure we do our walks and our exercises and
Yes.
stuff. And sometimes the weather is really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yes.
Sometimes it is extremely hot.
Yes. Too hot. Sizzling hot. So in fact, that's
my
been
heart.
most of we've been having some severe weather too.
I was going to say, sometimes it's extremely wet as well.
Yeah.
Thunderstorms, and rain and stuff.
So
Bless
everybody,
the rain down in Africa.
if you are on a routine and you're trying your best
Right.
to stick to it,
Yes.
or you trying to do something, you're just starting, you want to start with your fitness or
physical
healthy
fitness.
routine because you want to have a routine where you out there, you walking, doing low impact. We basically do low impact stuff. We're not doing no extreme stuff,
Right.
but we're out there just walking. We're not doing no running,
Right.
but still it's just too hot and humid
Too hot.
to walk. There's so many dangers in that and getting out there in that really hot and humid weather. But what we're going to talk about today is
What types of workouts you can do when the weather is bad, when it's too hot, when it's too cold, when it's too young, when it's too old, when you be bold, when you take a cloth and fold, when you try to wash the dishes, but the dishes are clean. Some people are mean. No, I'm just playing.
yes, that's what we're going to talk
Yeah,
about.
weather,
All of
this,
that.
exercise.
Forget
all that I said earlier, but exercise. So, what are some of the suggestions you would come up with and think of? I know we got the machines and stuff, but some people don't always have machines. We can talk about ones with machines and without. So what do you say?
So let's start off telling them what some of the things that we've been doing because we haven't been able to get out there as much.
Right.
If we get out there, because it's hard to get out there early,
Right.
because of different commitments and stuff that we have. But we have been doing that. One thing you can do is get out there early before it gets too hot. In the wintertime, that's different. But if you're dealing with very hot, extreme weather, or sometimes if it's storm, like we don't have a lot of severe storms in the morning, So that's one suggestion. The other things that we've done, excuse me, guys, I've been drinking my water, having a little hiccups going on, so excuse me, is we purchased a row machine. It's a water row machine. It's like a row, like you rowing on a what you call a canoe.
Yeah, it's
or
like rolling
rowboat,
canoe because the little flappers flip. They fan the water.
I just thought about a song. Baby, roll your boat.
Baby wrote a book. Y'all check out Gracie's Corner, man. She
Yeah.
be doing that thing.
Also
Little
we
Nova likes it.
also, and we purchased these things when
Oh,
we it was during the pandemic. The treadmill. Now it was hard to get some of this stuff because everybody was trying to, add to their gym, so it was hard to get. But we did. We was able to get a treadmill. We had to replace the treadmill
yes.
for one that wasn't working. So we do have a
Yes.
treadmill. So that's some options. You can create like a little fitness room for yourself, which is what we've done. So,
Right.
but I can tell you this, and you probably can speak too. It's hard for me to get on that treadmill a lot. It's not the same as walking outside.
It is not the same. And this is the problem with the treadmill. Not to try to find excuses for it, but if you're trying to do something together, you can't do a treadmill together. So
No.
you can do it by yourself, which is just perfectly fine as well. But yeah, that can be tricky. Also, too, when you walk on a treadmill, it's different walking on a elevation,
Mm-hmm.
different ground. In fact, when you walk on a treadmill too much, it can affect. I'm speaking for me. I'm not a doctor, but speaking, it can affect some of the right near the heel, right at the top part
Mm-hmm.
of the heel or below the area. So between the arch and the I don't know the technical term for it, but it's that little cartilage area right above the heel area.
Mm-hmm.
In that general area, I can get soreness because of that flatness. And you can, of course, you can move the treadmill up and down and all that, but it's definitely not the same as being able to kind of walk and stretch and
Mm-hmm.
control your steps a little better when you're just walking naturally versus having to be more deliberate when you're on the treadmill.
Exactly. You gotta be careful with that, and that's a good point, Christopher.
So I would say short burst of
Yeah.
that,
So
unless you've been doing it for a million years, of course.
an alternative to the treadmill, if you don't have one, or if you just can't get on one, or you just don't want to get on a treadmill, is there are YouTube videos of walking. I mean,
Running Man
you can do one
dance.
mile, and they
Oh,
and they are low impact. I'm telling you, they're low impact, and they're good for people that are just starting out.
yeah.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles you can do, and you can do it with a partner. Yes,
Grab
you
your partner,
can.
dosey do.
That's something you can do indoors. Now that's good not only for when the weather's hot or if it's raining, but also if it's cold.
Yes, cool
So
outside.
there are some videos that are more high intensity as far as the walk,
Mm-hmm.
because they start adding these different moves to it. So get your
Yes.
calorie burn that way. But also, it's just so hot out there.
Mm-hmm.
We can name so many different things that can happen if you're overly, if you overdo it outside. Because I mean, well, Christopher and I can tell you about what's that, last summer. Yeah, last summer we were walking out there.
Mm.
We were walking out there in the heat. You remember
Uh,
that?
yes, I do remember sometimes being in the heat.
And I'm gonna tell you, there was one point, and this was before the. It is probably during the begin. I don't know if it was last summer. Could have been 2021. But let me tell you, when that weight was on me, when I had a lot of weight on me, and I was out there walking, and it was probably in the 80s. I don't think it was in the 90s. It was probably high 80s or so. It wasn't. There was no warning about the heat out there. I'm gonna tell you that. It was no warning. But I was coming. I was walking. There was no running. I was walking up this hill, this steady hill, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was a little overweight, I'm telling you. But it was very hard and difficult. And I know if it was someone with already had health issues, it wouldn't have been good. But I didn't realize how bad that hill was. I thought I
Mm.
could do it. Hey, I'm used to this. I can do this. But that I shouldn't have went up that very steady hill. I mean, Chris was good. I mean, I think he was a little bit more better shape than me, but I was like, ugh, yeah. So be careful out there. But there were some days that we were walking at different times, but we were just trying to get to, get our feel for it. We just getting out there, just starting getting out there. Didn't realize, sometimes the heat and the sun beaming on, but also too, if you living by trees, that helped us too when there was tree cover.
All right.
But still, the humidity was there. It was, that's why it's good to do early in the morning or let's say later as the sun goes down. There's still light and the sun goes down, but you still able to out there to do what do what you got to do.
So what I remember was sometimes when we get out there, it's not too bad sometimes, but temperature change real fast during the summer when it's hot. Also, a trick I would suggest is as you're walking, find areas to walk where you find trees and shade. And so if there's one side of the sidewalk or the area that has more shade, do that side. Angela's good for spotting that. She has a shadow detector inside. So like, oh yeah, let's go this way.
Yeah.
So that's one suggestion you do if you have to go outside. But inside, like I said, there's so much you can do. You can do push-ups, pull-ups, knee bends. You can have, and then you can even work with another person. They can help you with the exercises, and you just do some reps. And so these are a lot of things you can do inside. And like Angela said, if you do watch the videos, look at what's your speed. You may watch one and be like, ooh, I don't know about that one.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not trying to, conquer the world, especially if it's not something you always do. Always probably try to start off on the lower end.
Yeah.
But if it's something you always do these workouts, then of course you guys know you can step it up to a more intense workout. And even the ones you start off as a beginner, it's like you can hold it. So let's say, for instance, if you're doing some your back and you're doing knee crunches, stretching your knees, you can hold it. That'll be more intense. That'll keep have more works in your from pretty much from your calf all the way down to your upper thigh area, all the way back. You'll feel the muscles and intensity of that.
Yeah. Also, when you talk about the knee crunches, you talk about the levels, like depending on where you have your feet.
How intense you want it.
Yeah, how intense you want it as far
so
as
the lower you
how high
have it, the
your
more
leg.
intense. If you hold it up because of the gravity, you got more of that coming towards you, then it's less intense. So you can almost like keep going to different levels. Same thing with your arms. You can do some sits where you have the chair and you can kind of get up, sit the chair. I've seen people do workouts where they're going up and down the stairs. Just gotta be careful with that.
I did that, the stairs. Now I'm telling you, you really will get a workout from that, going up and down the stairs. Cleaning up is a workout.
Cleaning up.
I'm telling you, cleaning up. Now I'm talking about also your day to day, but also if you're doing like some major like organized like stuff I need to do, throwing away things that don't need to be in the house. But also too, to add to what Chris said, when you're going up and down those steps, if you concentrate on how you're moving up and down the steps too, sometimes people have little weights and stuff, but at one point I was moving some stuff from upstairs to downstairs, and I had to go up there at least about 10 times. And I had my fitness watch on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those workouts where Angela wants to move something from upstairs to downstairs back to upstairs again.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are workouts for sure.
The watch detected a workout.
The watch be like, hold on now.
Hold on, you work it out.
What you doing? Sometimes, depending on what it is.
Oh yeah. Also another thing that is good too. Some of the things that we do or we've done is the gaming. There's some game system have like little different games that get you working out. And me and my
daughter, got dance ones.
Yep, dance ones.
That's the one you was talking about.
Now the one that I like was the one that you do different games, like you do the baseball, you can do the golf, the bowling. You're up and you're moving, and it's low impact. So that's good to do. You're up, you're standing, you're not sitting down.
One where we play instruments, believe it or not, that's a workout.
Yeah.
That is a workout. I've literally seen when we was doing it and we all sweating like, whoa, what did we just do? We do a couple of sessions of that back in the day. It's fun. Yeah. So it can be fun too. That's another thing.
Yeah.
So when you're doing my workout, people say work and out, work. I got to work. No, it's actually fun. It's a lot of fun things you can do.
Yeah, another one that I wanted to get more into, speaking of dancing, is the line dancing. There are different, if you learn different moves, different steps, you can learn those. Line dancing is a really huge thing. I see a lot of people doing it, and also just trying to learn the steps. You're not going to learn those steps like in one video. It's hard to do that. Some of those different moves, you're twisting and turning different ways, and so that is good to do. And we're in a culture where we like to dance. A lot of folks like to dance. Dancing, it keeps your mind off of things. It is what do you call it, a stress reducer.
Right.
So go on YouTube or get with someone that knows how to dance, and that's something you can do inside. I don't know. One thing I don't know how to do well, which I wish I knew how to do well, is line dancing. So that's something I'm going to look into as well, because I know we need to keep it moving. And I'm gonna have Christopher with me, guys. We're gonna both learn how to dance together.
Well, you know how to dance, so I just have to follow your lead. Try to
try
to hang with you.
And one thing about Christopher is he I don't think you didn't dance a lot when you was younger. It wasn't dancing wasn't his thing.
I was more of an artist. I'm more of a writer and a singer, and try to write songs and music and stuff like that. Didn't do a ton of dancing. I can dance, I guess in my mind I can dance a little bit, but just basic stuff. Didn't never try to change the world with dancing, even though I don't knock it. I mean, for those that can dance, kudos to you. It's a gift. It's an art. That you have a lot of people with different styles that are very good at what they do.
But I'm gonna tell you,
it's a good workout too.
I don't know how to sing,
but I can do the dance, the game dance. Like I can't follow as good as like where you enjoy it, but when I do it, I like doing that because you got some direction they're giving you, and it's fun.
Yeah, and also
you get points and stuff.
We put it on the 4-person mode where you're doing the verses, or you're working as a team, or you do the verses. But he did really good. He did really good on the game. So we got to get Christopher back into that.
I come to find practice, but some of the best dancers, they practice in front of the mirror. They see their moves. They see how they're doing it. They got their timing. So it's similar to the little games because it shows the image of you on the screen, and so you can kind of get an idea of what you're doing to a certain degree. But yeah, some people just got the rhythm in them, and they have more of a, I guess, passion is the word for it. So it depends on your thing.
It's about fun. It's
about fun.
That's what it is. It's about fun. You gotta have fun.
And dancing is fun.
And especially if you and I know this is like when you're doing that. Like one thing I was thinking of doing was dressing like a character, and then doing the little dances. That's pretty cool.
You say like a cartoon character?
Well, no, just kind of put on like little different clothing, while you're dancing.
So like with the line dancing, I wear a cowboy hat and you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You can wear the cowboy hat.
If you on my heart, yeah, break it heart.
Yeah, get you some boots.
If you don't try to understand. Doing my move.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him a cowboy hat and him some boots.
Line one.
Yes, gotta do that. Now another thing that he mentioned the rock band, playing the drums, that help with the the movement of the hands, and plus we're standing up. We're not I know for the person that's doing the drums, they're sitting, but mostly if you're standing and walking around and playing it, you're walking around.
Act something to keep you active. Activity. Just like in a game. So some people say, well, most games, like let's say board games, are you sitting. Well, there's some where you do have to get up. Like let's say like if you're doing like a win, lose, or draw kind of game, or where a game where you got to draw, that person's probably have to be animate. They got to draw. They're standing up, and then the person keep rotating it out. You have to get back up. So that's an active kind of game that you can think of. So anything, and I'm sure our imagination can run wild, but things to
Yes.
keep are that where you're active, where you burn some calories, and it's out of the norm of your routine. Then those are things you can do indoor or within the home.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say this. I was just pondering over this one day, like when I was younger, before, when I, didn't have to worry about
Just a young
losing weight, anything, like, okay, so what did I do? Because I was not
I know what you
thinking
did.
about working out. So one of the things that we were on the go a lot.
Now
We
you
did.
talking about with me or when you was younger than me? When you was with me or when you was younger than me? Sorry about that.
I've always been younger than you.
No, I'm saying. Hey, I'm saying when you were younger than when you was before we met. Because I know
I'm
before
talking
we
about,
met,
yes,
you did some dancing. You
I'm
danced a
talking
lot. You
about
told
that.
me
Oh
that.
yes, I'm talking about that.
All right.
And I'm talking about when we were married.
When we
Even
married,
even
okay.
after we had the one or two of the kids,
So
whatever.
what did we do when we were married? Where?
When we were dating, we'll talk about that.
When we were dating. Okay.
Yeah, we were on the go a lot,
That's true.
And we always
I
had
was
plans
in
with
shape.
different
I'm in
people.
good
You know what
shape.
I'm saying? We had plans. Of course I worked, and we both worked. You worked a lot,
Mentally
and
and
plus,
physically strenuous.
yeah, we were on the go a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Christopher, there was one thing that he did too that he mentioned. I think you did some type of rower. It was a
Oh yeah,
rower.
that's before I met you.
Yeah, before he met me, he
And I
used a
used to
rower.
play sports a lot too.
Yeah, and think about this. How many of you guys used to play basketball? You did basketball.
Basketball,
Sometimes in
football,
those
baseball.
basketball, sometimes you do. So you can do some of those indoors
Baseball.
too.
Yeah.
Like some things you can still do indoors. There are some recreation centers. In fact, we went to one the other day that had like a little walking path, and they had exercise equipment. All this was inside.
Where was this at?
Where was this?
It was inside.
We were inside. We was at a park. They had like a little function.
Yeah.
that
Okay.
we was
Okay.
at. We was at a
Yes.
function.
Yeah. Oh
inside.
yeah, man. Oh man.
But it was,
Yeah,
had
they
a
were
little
playing some
walking
ball.
thing up top. It was basketball court. I mean, if you have
right.
access to a place like that, a recreation center,
Mhm.
whatever, or a gym that has all that, where you can do different things,
Yeah.
not just go in there and lift weights and
Mhm.
get on a treadmill, where
Yeah.
they have like little water aerobics.
Yep.
They have a pool. They have different things in there. That's the if you were to join a gym, if you can, if it's in your budget to do, I would seek out a gym like that has
Yeah.
more stuff in it that you can do. Because you think about when we were younger, that's what we did.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of swimming too, I think.
Back in the day, a long time
So
ago.
what we're saying is that, and I know there's some stuff you can
It's just be
stuff
creative.
do, and
Be
we're talking about
creative.
stuff you can do
Everybody's so
inside.
creative.
You still can do that inside
Mhm.
doing the swimming. I don't know how to swim, so
Well, you do. I've shown you many times how to. Your challenge is more mental, but
it's true. The
yeah.
water going in my ears.
Yeah,
My
so I have you
nose.
swimming. You be doing good. So it's good in a regular pool. That's what, just a regular flat pool. When ain't a lot of people, you're good. But when we do the little fake wave kind of pool, or there's a lot of people around splashing, that's where you forget your training from me.
Now I'm going to bring this out, and this is important. All right. So all of this that we've discussed with you in regards to different things you can do, a lot of it is low impact.
Yeah.
But what's very important is if you want to see results as far as weight loss, you have to change that
Be consistent.
habit.
Be consistent. Be consistent. Remember what we said, be consistent. What you laughing at? This is serious stuff, man.
Yes, this is serious stuff. I'm
and we're
sorry.
not,
He makes me
no
laugh
doubt.
sometimes. I'm
She
not
makes
laughing
herself
at the
laugh.
mess. I'm laughing at him. He is
Listen, boo.
he is
I
funny.
was playing.
He is funny.
And of course we're not telling you like we have MDs. We're just telling you again what works. You gotta listen to your body. Always get good, safe medical advice. If you're already dealing with a doctor, continue to consult. But these are just ways to be creative and in cups. And
What water?
oh, water. And no, I'm just playing. I knew it was water. I was just messing with you. Stay hydrated.
Oops.
Stay hydrated. You're not a cactus. Oh well, if you are a cactus got a lot of water and it hitting in there. But my point is, stay hydrated. Don't let yourself dry out. You have all kind of problems, circulation issues, and all that. So, any last thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to say how important that is. But what is good is to have alternatives. If let's say if you are, let's say if to stay on your plan and to stay what you're doing, always have an alternative. Always have a plan.
Yep.
Like if I don't feel like getting on the treadmill, what else? I'm gonna list other things I can do besides that. But do something. Don't not do, unless you're sick or whatever, you can't do it. Do something. Don't or how can I say this?
Get something.
Exactly. Get out, get up,
Get going.
Get going.
Gotta
and do
get
something.
going because it's Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear.
Try something different.
Yeah.
But stay motivated and always have a plan.
Mm-hmm. I
That's what
concur. I
wanna say.
totally agree.
That's
And
what
I like how you explained that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because I know we know the struggles.
Struggle
we know
is
the
real.
struggles for trying to get started and trying to stay
started.
Stay at the pace.
Keep it going. Yeah, that consistency is the key.
It is
Having a routine, being consistent, staying motivated.
That is
Some
hard.
people make a lot of, when it comes to different routines and workouts, whatever. People that are successful really just make it part of their life. They don't even think nothing about it. It's just like, I'm doing this is
and
what I
some
do.
people get up when something I am working on is trying to get up early in the morning to fit something in. I've been trying to do that, but that, like you said, successful people, they do it. They don't think they're just part of life, and they're benefiting from it.
Yep. So that's the key to success. Just keep at it. If again, like we've always said, even if somebody try to push you off the proverbial horse, just get back on and keep going, regardless of how interesting your day go.
Yes.
It actually makes you feel better. You usually wind up in a better mood. You communicate better, got a better attitude. Your health is better. So it's a win.
Yes, one of the things that I did too. I go back and look at videos and photos of myself when I was at, the best health, and I was doing a routine. I was so happy. My skin was glowing. I was just mentally in a very good state. So
I remember that too, because that's I can say she definitely had the spice.
Oh,
spice. La 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 la.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. I guess that means that's it. We gotta go. Have a great rest of your day and week. Bye-bye.